What is going on, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about Palworld, what's going on with Palworld, what's happening with the official servers, why cheaters are coming into the servers, and why it hasn't been fixed after 3 weeks upon release, and so much more. So we're just going to dive right into it. Okay, so as you can see here on the screen, this was my first take, or my first 40 minutes of joining into Palworld Official. Now, great, it's the servers were actually day 2 here, and of course I was just shot and killed by a rocket. I mean, most of you guys have already experienced this or have tried to play official servers, but this is obviously a really big problem. Now, without official servers, there is really no want or desire to play, because players are now forced to either play with themselves or play with a friend that, if a friend has to work or if a friend has to do something else, nobody can play the game. So this is everyone's first big question, right? Like, when are they going to be fixing the official servers? Now, I've actually done some digging and research for you, and I'm going to throw it up on the page here and read it with you guys. This is Bucky from Palworld, and Craftopia, I guess, also. Those are the two games that they've created under the company, but we'll get into that later. But basically, this is one of the developers of the game, and what he's saying is, with Palworld quickly approaching the 1-month mark, it is interesting to look back at my own thoughts for the launch. In May of 2023, I was convinced that Palworld could break the 50,000 player mark. Anything above that seemed unattainable, though, as I certainly never expected it to reach into the millions. It has taken years to get to this point, and Palworld only really begins from here. Everyone is working hard to fix the issues and prepare new content and pals. Some of you have had your fun over the last 3 weeks and found yourselves putting the game down, and that's fine. Then they go on to say that the number of player-based discourse is lazy, but it's probably a good time to step in and reassure that those of you capable of reading past the headline that it is fine to take breaks from the game. So they're essentially actually saying here, we understand we're still in early access, we understand that you guys are mad, that there are glitches, and that there's no PvP, etc. And their course of action is actually saying, don't worry, you don't need to play the game. And I don't really honestly know how I feel about that. That kind of makes me feel like they're saying, this is our game, and if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. But we'll get into that more. I have a lot more of information to give you guys. So just to conclude with this Discord post from Bucky, he says, if you are still playing Palworld, we love you. If you are no longer playing Palworld, we still love you, and we hope you'll come back for round 2 when you're ready. Now, this is insinuating that there is going to be a round 2. The problem with this insinuation is it's nowhere to be found, right? I'm sure just as much as I have, everybody's been looking and searching and when is this happening? So this leads me to my next post that I've found, and I'll throw it up on the screen now. Okay, so this post was by Chujo Hirolo, a network developer again for Palworld, and what he's saying is, regarding official server access issues and future countermeasures against cheating. Currently, some of the users are unable to connect to official servers due to cheating and influence of fraudulent activities. We have confirmed that some players are unable to play the game properly. As a company, we do not tolerate any fraudulent activity or cheating, and we are working on measures to deal with it strictly and as a priority. First of all, we plan to release a player list function for servers in an update at the end of February. Okay, so they are giving us now finally some sort of date. February, end of February, so we're looking at a week from now, right? And what's going to happen here? Let's keep reading. Through this, we will strengthen the identification of players who engage in cheating and the suspension of their use by the development team. Following this, we plan to introduce an external anti-cheat solution to take measures against particularly frequent fraudulent activities and cheating. Please note, in the case of community servers, single player and co-op, the use of this function is optional. Okay, so they've also stated the fact that if you guys want to cheat together, it's fine, but just don't cheat on the official servers. Fine, awesome. This is good news. So hopefully, at the end of February, this will actually take into effect. So let's keep reading. In addition to the above measures, we will also continue to take thorough measures against further cheating and fraudulent activities. Kind of repetitive and redundant. Although the development team is dealing with each issue on a daily basis and taking measures, there are many cases where we are not able to keep up, and we apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Our team is working hard to get everyone back to a state where they can enjoy the game comfortably and with peace of mind as soon as possible. Okay, so basically, they're saying we understand, that everybody wants to play official, and we're going to fix it. Okay, so this is great news because for Palworld, a game that started off with 1.8 million people playing and is now down to 400,000, this could really turn things around, right? So I did a little research on the company, what they're about, how big are they, and this is the conclusion that I came up to on the screen here. Okay, so Palworld is made by Pocket Pair. And I've done a lot of research on Pocket Pair, but we'll read this real quickly just so that you can get a better idea. Pocket Pair is one of the few companies in Japan that is garnering attention worldwide for developing and operating indie games. They have even achieved first place multiple times in the top currently global selling Steam games ranking. While Pocket Pair is serious about always putting their customer first, they also place great importance on their developers. Okay, so what I wanted to say here about Pocket Pair is I did a ton of research on them, and they're actually a relatively newer company. They were founded in April 2015. However, their game itself, like their big game, which is Craftopia, was actually released in 2022, which was only 2 years ago. Since then, their biggest game has been Palworld, which is the why you're here, which leads me to believe that their company is actually rather small. So they're not like some giant big corporation like the developers from Pokemon or anything. So I feel like that's why we're getting a lot of these sort of responses from them, like, okay, it's okay, you can put down the game, or if you want to come back in 3 weeks, that's fine. It's because they aren't able to deal with problems as game developers as faster as bigger companies. So let's go back to Palworld now and look at it on the Steam charts. As you can see, we've gone down from, I guess, what would have been third place all the way down to ninth place. And as I showed you before, we've gone from 1.7 million viewers to 400,000. Now, is Palworld actually dying? That's the question. Is it actually dying? For me, I enjoy Palworld. I'm at the end game. There's not much to do. But for me, if official is fixed, will I go and play another round? Absolutely. I think I would play on an official server. Have there be no hackers or cheaters. That I would give it another go around. Now, the other thing with Palworld is they have not released any sort of updates on these supposed new raids or new dungeons or new content, and that's another problem on its own, right? Because you can't play a game, get to level 50, catch some legendaries, and then there's just nothing to do, right? So I'm really excited to see what they could possibly come out with in the future. But as for now, this is good news that they're fixing official, but it's also bad news because they have no sort of information on what's to come in terms of more of the gameplay. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took me a while to get all this sort of information. I'm also curious to hear, like, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I also just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone. Over the last 2 weeks, my channel's actually gotten over 25,000 views and 85 subs now, which is tremendous growth for a YouTuber, a small YouTuber like me. So Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.